And I always keep my two hands on here. If I just tooled out here, I'd make a mess, so I try to keep my hands close to my body. And the clay's a little too soft right now. I should wait till it gets a little harder, but that's okay. I'm gonna get my stamp in there. Make it pretty. Make it some cool shape. Now it's a flower shape. So I made some handmade stamps, little dragonflies and leaves. They're kind of fun to make, and I bisque fired them, which means I fired them to a lower temperature than my clay ultimately goes. So that means it's not vitreous, it'll still absorb water. So it will absorb the water on my pieces when I stick it in, and it won't stick. Okay, so I like to do a vine and leaf design, so I start with wherever I want to carve and make my vine. Use this cool little tool. It's just a little wire on the end, so you don't want to drop it, it'll break. Then I take my leaves. I can use either side of the stamp if I want the vines or if I just want a pressed in design. And get my leaves. I have different shapes so that they don't look like they're all carbon copies of each other. But they're all the same size, so they look like they fit together. Now this process of stamping gets my bowl quite a bit out of round, which is fine with me. I think that gives it a character that you don't get from handmade stuff. You can always tell that it's handmade from the impressions on the inside. All the impressions where my stamps were on the other side. That kind of gives it a nice handmade quality. You can tell that people's hands have actually worked on it, not just a machine. So I finished carving the bowl. It's got all the leaves and dragonflies on it, and then let it dry slowly for about a week and a half. If you dry it too quickly, it will crack, so I leave plastic on it and then uncover it to let it dry a little bit, and then put plastic on it so that the moisture content will even out. So I've got my kiln ready. You can see I've already started to load. So now this is the bowl that we've been working on, and I'll put it in. Try to fill up the kiln as much as I can with other pieces because it costs a lot to run a kiln load. When we're fully loaded, just close it up. I have to put all my peepholes in. These are, if you want to look in during the firing you can, but they help keep the heat in, so I usually just leave them in. And I've got my computer all programmed to run at up to the temperature and at the speed I want. So I'll just press start. Put on the fan to take out any excess heat or any fumes that might come on. And then I wait 24 hours.